It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right, I know what you're thinking. Lee, you are absolutely 100% biased. This is going to be something that you're going to tell us, and we're going to be like, okay, that's a very slanted opinion. But I want to know what love is. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. Oh, I just aged myself quite a bit. But I want to know, or I want to share with you why I love Agile and the reasons why I think you should love Agile also. Agile is all about love. As we celebrate this season of love and this holiday surrounded with love, I thought it'd be appropriate to talk about how Agile and love are related and what we love about Agile. So let's give you a couple of things we love about Agile. So, right out of the gate, the first thing that comes to my mind is how flexible Agile implementations can be. Agile has never been, it never was, and has never been, and is never designed to be a one size fits all model. Anybody who's ever been to my class before always hears me say that Agile is not like spandex because some people don't look good in spandex. The same is true with Agile projects, right? Every project is not designed for Agile, but it is incredibly flexible. You can bend it, you can mold it, you can make it what it needs to be. It's not designed just to work for software, just to work for hardware, just to work in one setting. It's designed to have this malleability so that you can change things up, so you can mix things around, so you can, it's easy to come up with a list of rules or guidelines. And there's even there are a few documents out there. There's the Scrum body of knowledge, which is 400 plus pages. There's a disciplined agile delivery document, which is also 400 plus pages. There's so many documents out there that there's there's the Scrum Bach, there's the choose your way of working. It's just, my point is, if somebody needs to write a 400-page document on how to do something, either A, they're overzealous with instruction, or B, it just shows the unlimited amount of flexibility you have. And I will give kudos to Discipline Agile. This is one of the things that I do love about it, is that they say there's so many ways to do this and that you should choose your way of working that works best in your organization based on the types of products and services that you build and based on what is going to work culturally for what you're trying to do. So kudos, hats off to DA for that, because I think they win the award here. But it's one of the things where you need to understand that flexibility. And flexibility doesn't mean that anyone can do anything they want at any time. This means that people understand what agile is and that they are focused and that they know that with flexibility is power, and they only leverage the flexibility in a sense that they make it something powerful. Next, agile teaches us that failure is an option. This is something I love about Agile, because a lot of people say failure is a bad thing. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think failure is a very powerful tool as long as you use it as something that you learn from. You can't just fail hard and then say, okay, I didn't learn anything from that. Great, let's move on. But if you are going to fail, you want to fail fast. You want to understand your failure, and you want to be able to not dwell on it, but find a way to say, what have we taken away from this and how can we make it better next time? And I think that as long as we're using the empirical process in conjunction with the failure, it's going to be for the betterment of our product or service, and it's going to help us learn where and what we can innovate. So as long as it's not a matter of life or death, and as long as it's not a matter where you just can't have that flexibility, learn to be obsessed with failure and figure out, what the root cause is and what we can do to make it right. Don't be afraid to pivot and adjust, but get to failure fast, right? Okay, another thing I love about Agile is that the stakeholders and end consumers are always involved. Yes, I said always. I don't have a period where I don't have some type of feedback from the stakeholder, from the sponsor, from the customer, from the people who are going to be using our product. There's never a period where there's just nothing, where there's dead air. We always have something. We're either in ideation, where we're generating ideas and figuring things out, or we're working towards an MVP to see just a proof of concept, a prototype to make sure that what we're building makes sense, Or maybe we're in a final countdown, a final stretch where we're building out the products and services and trying to decide what's going to make the cut for the release and what's not going to make the cut for the release. But no matter what, the customer or the end consumer should always be involved in those decisions. They should always be present, they should always be involved. And as we get feedback, we need to understand that the feedback's not just there for us to say, yep, we checked the box, we got the feedback, but we have to take action on the feedback. And I think that's a step that a lot of people miss too. It's making sure that we love our customers and that they know we love them because we've responded and we've done something. And not response as, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Response as in, this is what we're going to do about it, right? I think that's so important. Okay, another thing I love about Agile is that quality is always built in. It's not an afterthought. It's not something that we say, oh, well, good idea. Let's now test it. No, quality is always present, and I think it's essential to understand that it's not just something that someone does for the sake of validation, but it's something that someone does because they're passionate about the end consumer. At Amazon, they say they're fanatic. They're fanatical about their end. They're fanatical about their customers. They're fanatical about the people who are members of Amazon, and it's so cool because I almost think we all need to embrace some level of fanaticism about what we build and about how much we care. Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I went there. So yeah, so you need to make sure that you have a good understanding of quality and why it works for you. And I think the biggest reason, the number one reason I love Agile is because it gives people an opportunity to apply basic practices both in their professional and personal lives to help them improve who they are and to help them uplift and improve others. I think too often we skip that piece and we just look at Agile as a tool set or a mindset or some type of process that we do. And we skip the whole, hey, we need to look at this in a big picture mode and we need to look at how this applies to our personal and professional lives. And I think that when you can see Agile through both of those lenses, it's going to help you fall in love with it too. So that's going to do it for today. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.